Hi, I'm Dave.
And I'm Zoletu.
And I'm Brad.
And you're watching Nth-Level Entertainment.
So today we are going to react to a trailer. What trailer is it?
It's Transformers Last Night. It's the latest trailer to drop. Not a lot of confidence from a lot of people about this movie. I'm not hearing good stuff, Brad?
No, I had a sneak peek and it's not to my liking right now.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
I'm of the opinion every Transformers movie kind of blends together after the second one. So
True.
Pretty much.
Michael Bay is suffering, like in terms of now winning fans over.
Well, he's very good at one specific thing. He makes a great blockbuster. You go there, you got a popcorn movie. He's a master of that art. And
sensationalism. He's a master of making movies look good. People
well,
complain about substance.
On this one, we got Anthony Hopkins. We have, a lot of the returning cast from the previous movie.
Yeah, it's a stellar cast, but then you have to worry about story. But anyway, we're rambling.
Giant robots transform.
Oh, well, there's only one good thing that came out of Transformers is that the dinosaurs, you can make Dinobots.
That was...
Man, I love that animated series. You gotta love it.
That was pretty cool. I remember.
I love it.
You mean Dino Riders?
No, Dinobots, where they...
Was it a spin-off of Transformers?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say it's a spin-off, but it's mechanized dinosaurs that transform.
Oh,
so...
did you ever see Beast Wars?
Beast Wars, that's what I mean.
Beast
Wars, sorry.
It was like a CGI type cartoon, right?
Yeah,
I remember.
There was some CGI.
Yes.
The Angry Raptor and the spider.
Oh, and you have the wasp thing.
Yeah,
as well.
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Beast Wars. Damn it, Dino just popped into my mind. But that's what I mean. Beast Wars.
Yeah.
Damn it, I love Beast Wars.
Oh man, that was classic.
That's what I'm hoping. Spin-off. Beast Wars.
Just
Michael Bay, if you're listening.
Transformers
Beast Wars.
6
It's time for Beast Wars.
Exactly.
Let's evolve the franchise. All right. Anyway, let's get into this trailer, guys.
Let's watch it.
Okay, we'll logo there. Okay, so we're going to
Anthony Hopkins.
One of the best of all.
It's always too good.
1,000 years we've kept it hidden. To protect Earth from what is destined to arrive.
Optimus Prime.
Oh, the last one he went to Cybertron, right? At the end of the movie.
To seek redemption.
Something to that effect.
My maker, I do.
Logos. Tracking shots.
Ah, Mr. Wahlberg's back.
Sadness.
Or the emotional.
The piano says sadness.
Yes. It's a minor chord. Ed 209 is in this one.
Chaos reigns. Two worlds collide.
Okay, we got our standard trailer.
Did they replace his daughter?
That stand in its way.
The actress who played his daughter?
Yeah, they all blend together for me.
Okay.
God,
Spectacle. That's good.
Like the worst part of this reboot trailer, Big Daddy Bot smashing Bumblebee. So sad.
The imminent destruction of everything we know and love.
Were these things like on Earth the whole time? They look like they're rising up.
This is like the origin story, so that's what they're implying there.
Ah.
Hey, just not a light. There's some green.
Save everything we've ever known.
Oh, the dudes from part 2 are back.
It's like a collaboration, yeah.
Yeah.
I will stay, and I will fight them.
Peter Cullen's voice.
OG voice actor.
I don't know.
Yours must die.
Okay, cool cars.
Austin Furious now.
Oh yeah.
Ooh. I hope those are Decepticons.
Ending on a sad chord. It's serious now, guys. It's real.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going into the Transformers war.
Okay, so not much different from what we've seen before.
It's like every other Transformers trailer.
Yeah.
I don't really care.
It looks good. It looks good visually. It's hard to trust trailers nowadays.
Look, Michael Bay is a master of putting up things that you want to see on screen. Spectacle is what he does. And he's got it down better than any other director, in my opinion.
True.
But I don't need to see this movie. I've seen the past 6 Transformers movies. Rick Havoc and
I understand how we
I think
can
it's
feel.
four.
I understand how we can feel like 6.
Yeah.
I understand.
7,
Yeah.
19.
No, I get you. I got like.
I have no idea.
You made your point by
watch it for
actually
the
saying the wrong
explosions.
number.
Yeah, it's hey, look at the pretty explosion movie. That's what it is.
Yeah, I guess it's also event fatigue. You know, like, I mean, we were always like looking at the brink of existence in these movies. I mean, how many times?
Yeah, like the first Transformers has the spectacle factor that draws you in. Not really excited about the movie based on the trailer.
Yeah, you know, like I was saying about event fatigue earlier on. You know, the last one was called Age of Extinction. The last one was called Age of Extinction.
You thought that would be the
What
last
is this
one.
now? You know?
You want some finality to this.
Exactly.
But I feel like this franchise is just dragging on. It's
Yeah.
going too long.
Look, I'll see it for the sake of, you know, it's my job to see it. But yeah, look, I'm sure I'll be entertained though. I don't know much about story, but yeah. It's coming out in June, ladies and gentlemen. We don't hate Michael Bay, we don't hate Transformers. Go see it. We just have some reservations.
Well, based on my opinion, it sounds like I really love Michael Bay. The Rock was good.
The Rock was awesome. Bad Boys
Everything
1
else
and
is
2
just fine.
was
It's
awesome.
fine.
And I just can't wait for Beast Wars.
Yeah.
Yes, Michael Bay, give us a Beast Wars movie. You heard it here first. I will pay money for that shit.
Yeah?
Alright guys, we're now going to cut to the next segment of the show, which is a news item that we have before we go into the meat of today's episode, which is an interview with this guy right here, the first serious South African comic book collector I have ever met. We've got some great content in store, guys. See you in a minute.
So, now we're looking at a... Actually, no, you do.
Alright. So it's just been reported, apparently, about 3 days ago, if I'm not mistaken, that the scorer for the upcoming Justice League movie, who was Junkie XL, has recently been replaced by Danny Elfman. Now, if you remember movies like the 90s Batman series, the Tim Burton ones, he was a scorer in those movies.
Well, Danny Elfman is a veteran of scoring film.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the replacing of him with Junkie XL, well, the replacing of Junkie XL with Danny Elfman
Yes.
seems par for the course.
Yeah,
I
look,
mean,
I think...
It seems like a normal kind of shaker.
Yeah, it seems the way to go. Like,
Yeah.
that's what they're going to do.
I think it's also partly this whole thing of like, you know how DC's been very reactionary to what the fans have been saying. People are complaining about things like the tone of the movies, they're too dark, Superman doesn't smile, all that stuff. So I think in terms of like tonality with music, they're trying to go back to the hopeful days of DC.
Well, Danny Elfman is classically a great film scorer. Junkie XL kind of mixes it up.
I
It's
mean,
got a little more modern vibe.
He even did the Simpsons theme song. And he also did the Sam Raimi Spider-Man series.
Yeah, Danny Elfman,
Yeah.
classic, veteran.
So yeah, I would say that's what they're going for. Look, I enjoy Hans Zimmer's style, and I think Junkie XL was following in that because he's his mentor. I liked the combination of dark and hopeful at the same time, but I guess they're going for a more maybe purer hopeful tone. In my observation.
I don't think that tonally it's going to change the shift of the movie. I think it's going to be fine. Danny Elfman knows how to score a film per the emotion of the scene. So I'm not really expecting any major change-ups on account of the replacement.
Very experienced guy.
Yeah,
So,
it makes sense to go for someone who knows, I mean, not to say the other guys don't know what they're doing, but if you're looking for that kind of
he's got a good track record, let's just say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let us know in the comments what you think about this change of scoring for the upcoming Justice League movie and how you think it will affect it. And we're about to move on to the meat of today's episode.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Bradley Mclean, South African serious comic book collector. So we got a few
Wearing
questions
his
from
Captain
him.
America shirt. Yeah.
And we're so grateful to have
We
you here,
got
by
you
the way.
wearing your Man of Steel shirt. We got a DC versus Marvel.
Oh. Did anybody say crossover? So we've been wanting to have Bradley on the show for a while. Things just got in the way. We're very happy to have you here today, man.
It's a pleasure to be here to share some of the collection, and if anyone who's watching who wants to get in there watches this, then hopefully they have a stepping stone to get into the genre, to get into the actual collecting. And
Speaking of that, man, when and how did your journey with comic book collecting begin?
while I was walking through my local mall, which is Albany City, and we had at that time it was a very, very small comic shop called Nth-Level Comics.
Oh, nice.
It wasn't even like 4 meters by like 3 meters or so. It was a quaint little shop.
Did it have 10 seasons of stores? Small? Okay. No.
And then I walked in and I was looking and I was like overwhelmed by all the figures and the comics that were there. And then I had this thing about me, I enjoy collecting rare stuff.
Right.
Coins, cards, whatever. And I said, what is some of your rare stuff there? And he actually picked up a issue like this, which is a issue of Grimm Fairy Tales. They do by Zenoscope. They do very, very dark spin on your well, they take the Brothers Grimm tales, so it's not like this happy-go-lucky.
Okay.
There's a lot of murder, a lot of blood, and these comics you'll see. It's they're sealed. This is an organization called Dynamic Forces, so they do like limited edition runs, special covers, signed. So it comes with a certificate of authenticity, and I was like, it's like rare. I was like, nice. And then I just started looking for other rare DFs, and then I fell in love with some comics. I was introduced to Spider-Man and Superman, just the normal run, the action comics.
So was this how you were introduced into comic books in general?
Just in general.
Just the collecting.
Just in general, and then something triggers inside of you, and then you're like, I must have more.
Of course.
And more.
You see, because my experience with comic books, having grown up in the 90s, I got into comic books, Spider-Man, The Clone Saga, which is really pretty bad. It's very bad.
Is that
Ben Reilly? What?
Ben Reilly, yes. The Scarlet Spider.
What? I was watching the cartoons and now Ben Reilly's a thing? But the artwork on this is amazing.
Yeah.
So, this is from the 90s, you say?
No, these are relatively new by Zenoscope.
Is Zenoscope the publishing house?
Yeah, they're the publishing house.
Like Image and DC and Marvel?
Yeah, so this is Zenoscope. They have quite a couple of artists there that work there, and it's not really. When did I pick that up? Probably early 2000s. So it's relatively new in the modern age. You can call it modern age comic books. So it's quite nice.
Well, you can really tell the era a comic comes from based upon the
artwork. Yeah.
Like this is very clean. It's got very sharp lines. It's got that very defined sort of. You imagine this is a 2000s comic.
Yeah.
Like for example, that Alex Ross artwork there with Joker and Harley Quinn has caught my eye. That's one of the things that you can also really tell the time period. Because Alex Ross, he's still around, right? Like,
yeah.
Okay.
He's still around. It's that's Harley Quinn. That's a first appearance of Harley Quinn inside the DC continuity, not to be confused with Harley Quinn in the Batman comics.
Well, the first appearance of Harley Quinn was in Batman the Animated Series.
That's correct.
They created her there,
That's where she was
and then
born,
brought her into the comics because
That's
she was
it.
so popular.
And she became such an interesting character. Bro.
Yeah.
This is actually a very striking piece of artwork.
And it's amazing how, like we were talking about how you can tell a time period by the artwork and everything. You know, Alex Ross, something about his artwork always makes things not only realistic, but it looks sort of classic. You know, you'd always expect it to come from like a bygone era, just from
Well,
the way it
can I
looks. I don't know if that's
one
just me.
question? Yeah.
Mm.
How good is this book? I mean, it looks gorgeous.
All right.
You've read it, obviously.
It's very good, so good they actually did a reprint now. It actually was, I think, a little bit of last year, towards the end of last year, to go with a statue. They made a replica of this front cover into a statue, a full-on nice,
Damn.
6+ inch statue. So people are loving it right now, to be honest.
Yes. And
Yeah.
how much would that go for?
The statue, when I first saw it, it was retailing like about 1,500 to $2,000, depending on what shop you get it in. So not on the high end. You'd think that's not a high end price. So yeah,
It's high end for me.
if you see some of these, like in our circle of collectors, these guys collect these Deadpool statues that are like 24,000 Rand plus. There's crazy collectors out there. Yeah, I'm still a small fish in a big pond.
Wow. Okay. So, what aspect of comic books engages you the most as a collector or a reader?
Well, first of all, the first thing you see is the artwork. I love the artwork, and I think for the most part, that's what grabs the attention from any reader.
I think so. Yeah.
There's a lot of covers in here, like depending on the art. This is a J. Scott Campbell issue. David, if you want to just grab that one on the far top there, if you want to. J. Scott Campbell was relatively, I want to say, unknown, but when people started seeing these covers, these Spider-Man covers, people started freaking out.
Shit.
You couldn't get enough of J. Scott. His online store blew up.
Wow.
It was just crazy. I bought that one on the right hand side for 35 Rand. You can't pick that up in the market now for less than $500. That's
Per issue.
Just for that issue, yeah. That issue even went so far as to actually get a full-on sculpture being made, which is sold out in minutes. It's so hard to get your hands on one of those.
Because this Black Cat cover, I've seen this before, but this Mary Jane cover, this one I've seen, this seems to be the more popular book.
The most popular out of all of them, I would say.
Wow.
Because this image of Mary Jane I have seen everywhere.
Yeah.
That's that one right there. Yeah.
Damn. You know, I would have to agree with that, because I think that's also kind of how I got introduced into comic books. My brother used to well, I wouldn't say collect them, but he had a couple of issues, and I used to sort of like copy the images on them. That's how I learned to draw.
Oh, nice.
So that was my entry into comic books. I think at the time I couldn't really read per se, but I was like, you know, intrigued by the images, and I learned how to draw.
Yeah, it strikes you these really iconic poses.
Yes.
These moments, and you connect with characters through visuals.
I mean, you know, like the whole classic thing of seeing Superman fly in different like poses and how they illustrate him, and Spider-Man in his like skulking postures and all that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
No, so then you got your front art comic book. You got your art on the front cover that originally attracts you, and then for the most part you hope it's a good story. But then you got your other aspects, like, is there a first appearance in this issue? Which,
well, as a collector,
yeah. Well, that's my main target right now. My focus on collecting is the first appearances. So I'll look at it. If it's got nice artwork, I will definitely pick up an issue or two. If it's a first appearance, I'll pick up as many issues as I can afford. You can never have too many first appearances for resale value as well sometimes. And you try to pick up, you go through, you'll see a stack of one issue, 50 issues, and you'll see, if you're a real comic book collector, you'll see the guy standing over there, looming over them, looking, seeing, is it a perfect square, staples stuck in there, no breaks in the spine, is the color all nice, because you're hoping for like a perfect 10 or 9.8,
of course, you have to
like
be
a
pedantic.
gem cover. And
do you have the same sort of grading in comic books? Do you have like a grading scale as to the quality of?
You do. So you try grade them. There's an organization called CGC, so they do a grading scale from 0 to 10. And this unfortunately is a first appearance of Whiplash and Iron Man.
Oh, okay.
I searched forever. I picked it up. It wasn't. As you can see, it's very dark. It's been hit by a lot of elements. but
yeah.
it's the first and only one I found.
Right.
So I was like, gotta send it. I know I'm going to get a low grade, but at least it's going to be CGC'd. It's going to be safe. So this one got a 4.5, which isn't great.
Okay.
You relatively in the comic book market, you want all the comics.
Like you want to get to 9.
You want to get like
somewhere close.
You want to get a 9.8. That's the general consensus. That's like a near mint.
If we're comparing it, you've got a New Mutants issue here. That's a 9.4.
A 9.4, which
okay.
is great. It's a first appearance Deadpool. I love it,
Right.
but I wish it was a 9.8 because if you're in this business for making money,
Those are the grades you're looking for.
the grade you're looking for is a 9.8 and above if you can. But because the money difference jump, if you're trying to sell a 9.8, a 9.6, and a 9.4 is drastic. You're looking at maybe a 4,000 plus difference between a 9.4 and a 9.8,
Wow.
and then a 2,000 give or take difference between a 9.6 and
Like a 7 or a 6. maybe.
and a 9.6 and a 9.8. If you
Okay.
if you want to check,
Okay.
there's a CGC there
This
under
one
that
here?
pile. The CGC at the bottom.
This one.
It's that one there, yeah.
Okay. Oh,
So
yeah.
this is
9.6.
yeah. So unfortunately, this is a 9.6 as well. This is a 1 in 200 sketch cover for the New 52 first wave that came out a while back. So this I wish was a 9.8 because the price difference drastically changes.
And
This-
it's freaking Batman.
yeah, so in this case, I went to my local comic book shop. I picked it up for about R1,000, give or take. He sent it away for me to get CGC,
Okay.
and then it came back with the 9.6 grading. And you think you pay R1,000, you pay maybe R500 to get it sent away, but then it comes back and the book's worth like 7,000 to 8,000 rand.
Which
And
is
the
where
nine-
the investment is.
But now it's a 9.6. If it was a 9.8, you might be looking at 9,000, 10,000 rand. You see, the
Hey
jump
man,
is.
I'm good with 6 or 7,000 rand for a 32 page
That's
book.
a significant jump.
Yeah, you see, so it's a significant jump. So when you're collecting and you want to send your books away to CGC, try send your best books, but also try send them in such a way that you're hoping to get the best grade, because if you don't, you might not depreciate the book, but when it's not CGC, people wonder if it's going to be a certain grade. So you
So if
have
I'm,
a bit of a
if
leeway
I'm-
there.
if I've got a book and I'm sending it to them, should I put it in plastic first?
So
Should I-
you as a
how should I treat it?
So CGC, you can sign up with them and you can send them away, but your best way is through your local comic book shops. Some of them,
Because they've got a more secure channel with these
yeah,
people.
but the thing is you send it away and it can take up to, depending on CGC's backlog, like months to a year, maybe more.
Wow.
I know I waited a year for my first one. I even
Really?
forgot that it got sent away.
Jeez.
And yeah, so you want to send in bulk as well, which is a bit scary because you're sending your first appearances or your very rare, very old comic books,
Yeah, yeah.
and then you don't see them for a year.
Yeah, you get a little pedantic, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, okay.
Can I? Do you read them first?
Oh yeah, I definitely read them first. You gotta just flick through the pages,
At
feel it a
least.
little
At
bit,
least.
but very gently,
Yes.
and then you send them away to get
Yeah, put
CGC.
some gloves on and have a read.
So
Yeah.
how often are you like buying one of these, or however many of these?
Like I used to be advert. I used to maybe spend 600 plus rand a month, and then I'd get, I'd choose whatever's the runs are busy at that moment. So in the New 52, they had rebooted everything, all the series. So I was collecting maybe 15 different titles a month, and then paying about $600 plus for that. And then I started to wheedle it down, like what stories I enjoyed and what I didn't, like this Wonder Woman, the Batman, the Superman, and then I started thinking about what I actually wanted to focus my collection on, what did I want to get out of it, and then I thought first appearances. I love them monetarily, they're good investment for the most part. The only thing is they're hard to get by just in the country, so hopefully your comic book shop is very resourceful and they get them for you, and then you just save up. So so like now I collect every now and then just the normal runs,
Right.
but I'm on the hunt all the time for first appearances.
Well, let's go around the table. What first appearance would you want to pick up out of any first appearance? What's the one you're craving?
Okay.
What-
Superman would be a cliche answer.
Well, Action Comics number one. That's
yes,
way.
exactly.
Come on, everyone wants Action
Slow
Comics.
down. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Wolverine.
Wolverine.
First appearance of Wolverine.
Yeah, there was one in the country. Well, it's still in the country. There was one on sale. It was in one of our local shops here in Alberton there by Nth-Level Comics.
Really?
They had the Wolverine #1. It was going for some scary prices.
Wait, Wolverine #1 or the first appearance?
The first appearance of Wolverine.
Because Wolverine was a villain in
He did have his standalone run.
someone else's comic.
I'm just trying to think now, but in the first appearance of Wolverine, he's busy fighting Hulk. He's in the
Yeah,
Hulk.
he was a villain in the
wow.
Hulk comic. Yeah.
So it was but that's a very, very pricey.
Are we looking like buying a car type of price?
You're looking
more
in the,
like buying a house.
it's pricey. You're looking in the close to like the 20 grand, depending on who's selling it and the quality. I don't see the quality of the book, but I knew it was out there and very close to me. But price range way out of my grasp.
All right, so yours. What's your first appearance? What do you need in this to complete this collection?
Oh geez, I like most of my first appearances are more Amazing Spider-Man. I keep missing it. Is Amazing Spider-Man 300, first appearance of Venom. It's always there, but it's always not there. It's like either the grade is not good enough. Like I want a 9.8. I don't want a 9.4. Which
That comes from the Secret War storyline, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, that's when you had the origin of the symbiote.
Yes.
Spider-Man picks up the suit and
Yes.
is on the war planet.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the one that's always out of my grasp right now. But I'm slowly reaching it, and I'm gonna get it.
Okay, so you said an average of about 600 or 700 rand a month. Okay, how many of you watching at home are wondering what Brad's fridge looks like? Because I'm not seeing a lot of priority on groceries,
Very bad.
and I would understand. I'm not judging.
Can I do mine? And you tell me how rare this is.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I really want to pick up a Swamp Thing issue.
Yeah.
The Master of the Green.
The first appearance of John Constantine.
He is. It is quite a pricey book. There's a group which I just came across on Facebook recently called Elemental Comics. They basically go out, you tell them what you want, they'll go source that book for you, find it. They sourced 2 Constantines, 2 Swamp Things for this one guy. He just picked up 2 first appearances of Constantine. I was so jealous.
Because I'm not a huge fan of Swamp Thing, but I'm a huge fan of John.
Yeah.
So
it's on the list. I need it. The list is long, but it's nice because in the comic community you see what people have, and it's weird they have doubles. Like I love the Hobgoblin, so whenever I find the first appearance of the Amazing Hobgoblin, Amazing Spider-Man Hobgoblin, I buy it. That's why when I have a CGC double signed by Johnny Meter Jr. and Senior, and I was like, that's like the gem in my collection. I love it so much. I found just a normal raw copy. I was like, I'm buying this.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not eating, but I'm gonna buy this. That's fine. That's fine. Now I have 2.
Priorities, guys. You gotta stay focused.
It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. 2 minute noodles. It's okay.
I never hurt nobody.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so just to digress a little bit, right? How do you feel about how comic books are being translated to movies, especially in the age now where we've got the technology to do so?
Before the show, we were talking about this a little earlier. For the most part, pretty well nowadays, for the exceptions of, for me, the Green Lantern in the first half movie. It's killing me slowly, but for the most part, it's been going well. The X-Men, the Logan series, all those.
The X-Men series is very good.
X-Men kind of kicked it off.
It did.
With that
The
X-Men
superhero
arc,
like
you've got
genre in
like
movies.
yes, I can watch this.
Because I mean,
enjoy
sure,
it.
before we had the Richard Donner Superman, which is a classic, the first movie. We had that, we had Batman, but you're right. Like in terms of the superhero film genre, I would say X-Men would be the establishing franchise in that.
So X-Men, good, right? We all agree X-Men's good. Blade came out before that, though.
Blade.
Dude,
I don't know.
Okay,
Blade.
1 and 2.
Blade is like
I liked 1 and 2.
I think 2 is the best Blade movie.
Yeah.
I like Trinity. It's got it's got Deadpool in it.
But, okay, so now you're watching it for Deadpool. You know,
Hey,
therein lies our problem.
silver lining on a terrible movie, man. You know, that was Ryan Reynolds like.
Dude, he almost messed up.
Yo, really hard.
Oh,
yeah.
Jessica
Can't
Biel.
discount
dude.
Jessica
Jessica
Oh, no.
Biel is very attractive.
Very.
Just to add to something you may have already known.
It's true.
No, yeah, Blade was
Yeah.
it was very good. I enjoyed it when I was younger. That was I haven't watched it recently, so I wonder if it still stands up to.
I've watched them recently. Blade
yeah?
2 is better.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the first Blade has that kind of CGI sort of stepping block kind of thing. The CGI looks a bit cheesy.
I think there was a lot of
Blade
CGI in
2.
the second one, if I don't remember correctly.
Yeah, but Blade 2 was
remember.
filmed better. It was
Oh.
framed better.
Oh, yes.
It sort of invested you more, in my opinion.
Right.
I'm definitely not
Especially
watching
those
that.
opening scenes, the opening fight
Yeah.
scenes when he's chasing down those vampires on motorcycles. That was awesome. That was awesome. The fight
There
scenes
was
were like
that garbage CGI fight when the vampires tried to recruit him in the middle of the... That was terrible.
Oh,
That looked like a Spider-Man.
I saw that. Yeah. I could see that even
It was
like the
bad.
first time I saw it.
You say Spider-Man and then you make me think Tobey Maguire and then
Yeah,
you make me say
It was Tobey Maguire CGI.
you make me sad. I'm just gonna change my hairstyle. I'm gonna be a different type of guy.
Oh, Spider-Man 3.
And I'm gonna do show tunes on the street because I'm angry. Like,
Well, I guess at least he picks up the ladies, kinda maybe.
yeah, just so that he can make fucking Mary Jane angry. I mean, okay.
Yeah, that was the worst appearance. I was upset at that appearance of Venom on screen
Yeah.
in Spider-Man
Dude,
3.
Topher Grace as
I'm
Venom.
like, this is not the Venom I grew up with.
He's so soft.
Bruh.
I wanted.
Even in the animated show, you saw Venom, like, not only was he a bigger guy, it was even emphasized so much by you even actually saw him work out. you
Yeah.
know? And they go and get the guys from that 70s show. Like, Topher
Yeah,
Grace
and-
as Eddie Brock.
In the animated show,
Yes, he's a
you
charismatic
establish
actor.
Venom as something that's scary.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then you introduce Carnage.
Oh.
It needs to be levels. Like, here's this guy
You
who's
see,
frightening.
now when you mention
Oh,
Carnage,
you think that's scary? Carnage.
now when you mention Carnage, because of his smaller frame, I would have cast Topher Grace as Carnage rather than Venom.
I would just rather not have done anything with her, but that's just me. Carnage.
Romantic comedy.
Yeah, maybe.
Not in my Spider-Man.
Okay. So I know you collect comics in general, but would you consider yourself more a DC guy or a Marvel guy? I mean, you know, Captain America t-shirt notwithstanding.
I think when I look at the two sides, I'm a bit of a fan setter when it comes to overall comic books. I enjoy the stories on both sides, but I think the heroes on Marvel's side and the villains draw me a little bit more to that side. I enjoy myself a good Gambit, a good Wolverine,
Okay, all right.
a good Lockjaw.
Mon chéri.
You got a good Lockjaw, guys, for all the Lockjaw fans out
my
there.
big dog!
Yeah.
Oh, you've seen the Humans trailer, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, I'm a bit different. I enjoy watching Marvel movies, but I prefer DC comics.
Is it?
Yeah, I like.
Yeah, they're
I
quite a
like
bit
my
dark, I
Flash
guess.
comics.
Yeah.
I like my Batman. Reading the Killing Joke comic was very good.
That's a very good comment.
The
good
movies.
Oh, that's where my mind goes to immediately, you know.
The comic, damn, and The Dark Knight Returns.
Oh
Yeah,
yes,
good,
Frank
good.
Miller.
Yeah.
Now that's set the standard for the current Batman that we know. You know, it may his soul rest in peace. It separated us from the Adam West era to what we know now.
Well,
of
I
what Batman
need to be
is.
honest. I do need to touch on the long Halloween because I hear that's great.
I also haven't
it's on
actually
my
read that
list.
story. I've heard a lot about
It's
it.
on my list. I actually haven't collected anything from it, but now I'm gonna have to go have it.
We have to.
I'm
Next
gonna have to
episode.
definitely have a good yeah. As it's just coming, there's just too much out there. You want to try
Exactly.
everything, and then
You want to absorb it all.
you want to, but it's just there's just too many good arcs out there, good series.
So many characters.
So
I mean,
many, yeah.
Look, like the Justice League alone, it's expanded roster, right? There's 52 heroes in that roster. Like, you know how they're synonymous with the number 52. You know, there's
Yeah.
52 universes, New
Yeah.
52, this and that. So that's just the heroes, and now you have to think about their supporting cast and all the offshoot heroes and all that stuff. There's a lot. There's too much.
Well, I'm just starting on 100 Bullets.
That's a very good.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
So I just read the first issue, and I'm excited.
I have to admit
I
my
wanna go
ignorance
into
here.
It gives
It's gonna be
you.
fun.
I'm just trying to think of the movie. It's a bit of a Pulp Fiction. You got the guys in the suits.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Sorry, I need some context here. I don't know that story.
100 Bullets. It's an anthology series almost.
Yeah,
I think from what I've heard.
It's not a like.
Which character?
Well, it's not like
Yeah,
a
it's
character per se.
original
It's original
story,
piece. Yeah.
standalone.
Oh,
Yeah.
something. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
alright,
it's like
alright.
original.
Okay.
No, but it's something you guys must put on your list. to
Yeah,
read.
yeah,
It's so
I've
good.
got 100 Bullets, Why the Last Man, and I need to read Live, Die, Repeat.
I haven't.
No,
You know
All You
to-
Need Is Kill.
You're not talking about the
Yeah.
sequel to that Tom Cruise movie where he lives and dies and repeats.
No,
are
I'm
you?
talking about the manga that the film was based on.
I was close. I was close.
All You Need Is Kill.
Okay.
I need to read that because I hear it's good. I gotta pick it up.
This is not a message we're sending to the kids at home. All you need is skill.
Unless you really need it. If you're in a situation and you're like, what do I do? What do I do? Where salt, pepper, tomatoes, what? Kill? Oh, all you need is kill.
Nice.
Just put it in.
Just
Serve
straight
hard.
So,
Taste it.
taste of death.
The taste of death. Yeah.
So,
May we do something quick?
okay.
Because I want to go through each of these. You've gone through the trouble of bringing your comics here. Can we have a look at them?
Go for it. Yeah. There's
Okay.
quite a selection to look through, and
Okay.
if you want to know something about it, just let me know. And then
Well, let's go through them in sequence.
Okay.
Here's this. I'm looking at Amazing Spider-Man here.
that's correct. 212, and that is the first appearance of Hydra Man.
Hydra Man.
Yeah.
I remember him from the animated series. Like,
Yes.
I never read the comic itself. He's the dude who was like obsessed with Mary Jane.
Yeah. And then he got hit, and now he's Waterman. He's like the.
Yeah, and I see he's quite faithfully adapted from the comic, I guess, which is what the source material that I'm looking at now.
Yeah.
This came out in the 80s.
Yep. You can even tell from the art style.
Yeah,
the-
it's a more
the
of a
line
new age
shading.
book.
Yeah, it's very, very classically 80s as well. What did you think of this specific issue?
I enjoyed it. Geez, I read it long ago. It's like one of the very, very first books that I
Issues you
got.
got, okay.
But it's a good book. I really enjoyed the story. It's not one of my
It was
favorite
quite
villains.
enigmatic.
So
Yeah, Hydra Man's not really known.
Yeah.
If you ask me to,
You wouldn't put him on the
gun to my
level of
head,
Dr.
name
Doom or
Spider-Man,
anyone.
Spider-Man villain.
like I think Hydra Man, Sandman, and he's like I wouldn't
It's-
say I wouldn't
it's
call
like-
B grade
It's
villains.
it's
I'd
like
name
what the trickster.
Mysterio.
It's like what the trickster is to the Flash. You know, like on that level.
Yeah, I don't know. He's not even a B grade villain in my opinion.
Yeah.
But it's a first appearance. I gotta have it.
So does the story end in the same way it did on the animated series? Is this when like Mary Jane disappears or something?
Actually, I can't remember to be honest. But
Yeah.
we need to. What we can do is, if you want, we can just.
Whoa!
No! Don't open it.
Yeah,
You
we
sure?
Can, yeah, we can
Okay.
be able to.
We're doing an opening.
Oh my God, we're making history.
Yes. Slide
Wow.
it out.
Oh, this needs a video by itself. This is an unboxing.
Who has the less wetter hands than mine?
Okay, I think by default I'll just.
I'll just open it. Yeah.
That's Robbie, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
So in this, it's not too bad. The pages are not as white as you would want them, but some oxidization. What
This
can you
is
do?
kind of how I
Of
remember
course.
comics looking.
You know, you got your ads, your old ads.
Could you hold it up? Hold it up to the camera. Have a look. That's what we're looking at. You see the
right there.
yellowing there? That's just age.
Yeah, let's see if we can get a actual Hydra Man.
Image, yeah.
Yeah, there's
Or
him getting slapped
Oh,
around.
He's drinking there.
Yeah, just pouring into water. Coming out the basin there.
Now, this is the thing with the printing. that I was mentioning earlier. You've got this dot matrix kind of thing. You see dots that comprise the color and comprise the image.
It's the kind of thing you see when they like do like a super close-up of these things on logos, and when you see the dots.
That's also the difference between an 80s or 90s comic and a comic, say, that was reprinted with a cover like this. The printing technique is improved in this era, whereas this is, okay, that's 90s, 80s, you can tell it just by looking at it exactly what decade it came from.
Just ending with Spider-Man giving Hydra Man a super punch and him evaporating into the clouds.
Oh.
It makes me want to like not only read this comic but also watch those episodes.
Show me the back. You see, you had, because that's what you don't have the kind of adverts in comic books
anymore.
I remember getting advertised sea monkeys. I had no idea what sea monkeys were. Like, I'm reading, Ben Reilly, and then, sea monkey. Yeah. It's vintage. It's of its era. That's a good. That's good.
So is there any story that you're currently reading that you're vested into, or?
So I rewatched Logan the other day. Just it hits those feels, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna rewatch it, and then I thought I'm gonna go read the Old Man Logan series.
Okay.
And if you guys haven't read it, you guys definitely have to pick it up.
So
crazy.
I've listened to a fellow YouTuber named Comics Explained. I haven't read the actual issues, but I've read his summary and explanation of the storyline itself.
Oh yeah.
So from what I'm gathering, they say that it hasn't. The story in the movies wasn't an exact adaptation.
No,
you've got different worlds, kind of. So at some point, Logan fights a Hulk.
Yeah. And it's not even Bruce Banner. It's Amadeus Cho.
There are crossovers that Sony doesn't have the rights to. Wait, no, it's Fox. Fox doesn't have the rights to.
Yes.
Well, in the movie, you obviously have Logan like years plus into the movie. In the Old Man Logan series, it's about 50 years into the future.
Okay.
He's like a broken old man with his wife and family, and the planet has just gone pear-shaped. All the villains have taken over the world. They've divided up the countries.
Yes,
everyone owns a different piece of the world, and he's just trying to live out his life. But where he lives, it's Bruce Banner, aka the Hulk. He lives in his territory, and he needs to pay rent. But basically, Wolverine and Hawkeye, a blind Hawkeye, go on a journey.
Yes, apparently.
So Hawkeye can give Wolverine some money. They got a package to go deliver in another territory. They go on a whole journey. You see all the landmarks.
Oh, I see the parallels in the movie. That package was weapon X-23. Yeah.
So they're going through all the landmarks. You see where they murdered the Thor. His hammer's there. It's like a national landmark. Tourists come visit it. And then they just go through and then they meet some characters.
Oh yeah, they call it like the creator of the hammer or something like that. Yeah.
And then you meet like they flash back a lot in the story to give you some depth and how it happened, and like the Red Skull murdering Captain America, and the Kingpin taking over.
It's like a villain's wet dream, this story.
Exactly. Yeah. And then towards the end of the story, well, this is a spoiler. Towards the end of the story, Hawkeye keeps like busting Wolverine's chops.
Spoiler tag.
Why don't you want to pop your claws?
Yes.
What happened to you? Why are you such a broken man? And then he goes into the story of what happened. And in the movie, they like make it out like Professor X murders everyone. But in the Old Man Logan, all the villains get together and Mysterio warps Wolverine's mind.
Oh yes.
And he makes him murder all the
X-Men.
Yes. And then he like goes crazy.
Mysterio of all people.
Yeah, Mysterio.
Well, he would. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, we were talking about B-grade villains earlier on.
But the thing that
Mysterio is a major villain.
Come on,
he's
an illusionist.
He's a big player.
But what I don't understand is Mysterio does illusions. Like I haven't just had a chat with some of the other guys, but he shouldn't. Well, the consensus is he shouldn't be able to fool Wolverine's other senses.
There we go.
How did he do it? How did he get so strong that he?
Because he can't even fool Spider-Man's spider sense. Because that's how he normally like thwarts him. And he tells between fake and reality.
Yeah. So how did he like mask everyone's scent to make
Like-
Wolverine go berserk and just
You
murder
see?
everyone.
Plot hole.
Yeah. So it's a very gruesome book.
Marvel does a lot of this where DC doesn't. Where a single character kills the entire universe.
Oh,
You've got
yeah.
Wolverine
Oh,
kills
yes.
the X-Men.
We've had the
universe.
Punisher kills the Marvel Universe.
Deadpool kills the...
Ah.
Have you
Always
read
good.
that?
It's
I
crazy.
The
I haven't gotten
Deadpool
around to that
trilogy.
one yet.
It is a
I've
trilogy.
just finished with the Punisher one.
It's not a trilogy.
It's a trilogy.
Yeah.
It's very good.
And trilogy.
Deadpool's commentary throughout is just
Yes.
it's just always so good.
You know, I've always said that Deadpool's comics, even the movies, it's a genre unto itself. I don't know anything else that does that. You know, I mean, the breaking of the fourth wall.
The first time you encounter it, it's fresh. When
Yeah.
people start copying it, it gets a little lame.
Yeah.
Well, shall we move on to another comic?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, so what do we have here? Okay, let me pick one. I see the Flash here.
Yes. Pick up
Nine,
the Flash.
a CGC grade of 9.8.
So-
ladies and gentlemen at home.
That's when
So I'm gonna zoom this in post.
And you can flip the video because it's all backwards.
Right. So I see the Joker's face on his chest here.
that's it. So back well, my local comic book shop.
Yeah, this is fairly recent, the Rebirth event.
Yeah, this is quite recent.
Wait, there was two Rebirth events.
Well, there was New 52 and then Rebirth.
There was Jeff Johns' Green Lantern and Flash Rebirth that he wrote way before this current Rebirth event. Which,
Well, this
which
is not
one
in the this is not in the New 52. This is the Flash Rebirth.
So this
issue
is the
one.
original Jeff
No,
Johns.
this is Jeff Johns
Alright.
and Ethan Van Sciver who did
Okay.
the art for this. And then my comic book shop that I normally go to, which is Cosmic Comics, they went through
Yes, I
all
know
the
that one in Cresta.
that's it. They went through all the effort to fly out Ethan Van Sciver and his family, which
What?
yeah, because that's how you do it. You need these entourage, and it gets quite pricey.
No, I'm just amazed at the fact that they did that.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. I'm
Wow.
hoping for more artists to come out here, writers.
Yeah.
And I got tickets to go there, so he signed a couple of my books, and he did a couple of head sketches, sketches for me. So this is the Joker. I have one with Wonder Woman over there.
Wow.
Lucky enough, I chose Wonder Woman.
See that? Which one?
Yeah, that one there.
this
No, that one there by the PC. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
This one, okay. Oh yes. It's the same issue, right?
It's the same issue. I thought best to get the first issue, so I have a few of these signed and sketched by Ethan.
Can I show the people at home? That's Wonder Woman, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, no, it's not Gal Gadot, but yeah, it's the comic book Wonder Woman. Okay, so this issue here, Flash Rebirth.
Yeah.
Like, have you read the story?
I have read the story.
Mhm.
It's quite a good story if you guys haven't picked it up.
Is this Barry Allen Flash?
This is Barry Allen Flash.
Okay.
I actually prefer the Joker sketch to the Wonder Woman one.
Do you?
Yeah, I think, well, the Joker's you've got some
It's
really
more-
bold lines.
It's more bizarre, right?
It's
As
like
far
how
as-
do you the Joker? Obviously, you got his smile, you got his hairdo.
Mm.
How do you make Wonder Woman? I guess you put the
distinct?
the distinct headband on there.
Yeah.
It gives you more of the this is a Wonder Woman.
She's
feel.
a hero.
Yeah.
Joker's a frightening villain.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I enjoy that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
so it's hard to I guess to sketch out Wonder Woman just a side profile, but I'm happy to have it.
So, what are your thoughts on how comic books have affected popular culture? You know, I mean, like we've got shows out there, like Big Bang Theory these days, or like, you know, things that sort of like showcase the life of a geek in general. You know, people who are into these kind of things.
Well, sometimes like the Big Bang, I think they misconstrued geeks as a whole because
A bit extreme.
Yeah, they're not all like that. They're not all hardcore nerds.
Yes,
Just
we know how to talk to people. We do.
We can pick up ladies.
Yes.
I watch Big Bang and I'm like, these dudes are weird.
Yeah.
Like
And
we think they're weird.
I'm a nerd. I am weird. I am a weird person saying those people are weird.
And then you must know.
They're a bit too weird for me.
No, but I think even stories like that bring out like comic books and the whole genre in general, figure collecting, that kind of stuff. It's become more mainstream, so it's nice. You've got a more diverse people now actually collecting.
Yeah, because they've been around for like ages. You know, you've got collectors of different ages, even readers of different ages.
No, you'll go to like a free comic book day. The lines will be like down the road, blocks around, and you'll see like young kids, all the the older people.
Exactly, yeah.
And the stories they have, the comic book collections they have, will
Wow.
make you so jealous. It's crazy.
Oh, can I derail this for a second?
And there's cosplay. We have to get back to cosplay.
Free Comic Book Day.
Yeah.
That happens on a Wednesday, right?
It happens normally the first Saturday in May, June, somewhere there.
We'll have to look it up. Or you can help us in the comments at home. Let us know.
I keep forgetting which month, but it's normally the first Saturday.
Okay.
If you have an app like Comixology or the Marvel app or the DC app, on Free Comic Book Day, you can pick up a free comic. Usually a first issue.
Yeah, like they have like a whole lot of branded free comic book days, so
You can pick up a first issue on Free Comic Book Day.
Well, it's a digital issue.
Oh,
from the
yeah.
app, but yeah, you can pick one up, give it a read. It's the way that the publishers sort of introduce you to new characters and sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Free Comic Book Day, you will get a free comic.
and you can actually pick up a lot. You'll pick up, they normally have maybe like 10, 15 titles that you can pick up, like you go through the line, you pick up a comic, you walk out of a stack of free comics.
It's how I got introduced to Atomic Robo. You probably don't know Atomic Robo, but I first, Free Comic Book Day, I was introduced to Atomic Robo. It's a robot created by Nikola Tesla that fights crime. It's an immortal robot.
Oh, nice.
And it's hilarious, and it spans time, and it's a great read.
Wow.
I think.
How long did that run?
I think there are only 3 issues of it. Well, I only picked up three seasons of it. So there's your first issue, 3 volumes.
Yeah.
I suppose you could say.
Okay.
And yeah, it spans times. It's really funny. It's witty. It's refreshing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and Free Comic Book Day introduced me to that. So,
Nice.
yeah, pick up something new, pick up something weird.
Yeah.
It's Free
Yeah,
Comic
they
Book
introduce
Day.
you to different titles that you either didn't know exist or were like on the fence about getting, but now you can pick up one for free.
And I love how this industry is actually becoming mainstream even in this country. The Rage Expo.
Oh yeah.
I only found out recently that we have people that cosplay at the Rage Expo.
Oh, dude, there's cosplay, there are board games. You can sit down and play D&D with people.
I was
There's
surprised by all
There's a
of
massive
this.
LAN event, which is the main
Yes,
draw.
yes,
There
yeah,
are
that's the
massive
main thing,
discounts and just go to Rage.
No, I've been to Rage. The thing is, I was mostly...
Rage is our Comic-Con.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was
Our
getting to.
Comic-Con.
Because when the times that I went to it, I was mostly there for the gaming side of things. I wasn't that much aware of, the comic book side of things, especially the cosplay.
I went to the first one. Back when it wasn't called Rage, when it was called Warfare.
Oh, really?
Jeez, that's old school, eh?
Yeah, that's
Wow.
ancient. I was there.
Jeez.
And yeah, now just go to hang out, dude. There are food courts. Go grab some takeout. Go hang out with the guys playing games. Chat to people.
Yeah, I think I won a T-shirt on the last one that I went to. I beat 25 dudes in a row playing Mortal Kombat.
Nice.
The last time I went there, I spent half my salary on video games that I still haven't played.
You see, that's it. Life gets ahead of you, eh?
It does.
Look,
It does.
as every Steam user knows, half of my games are unplayed.
And there's like a Steam sale FYI like the next 4 days. So wallets be prepared.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. You heard
Our
it here
Lord
first.
Gaben.
Wow, man. Okay, so all right. So I think that'll be about time to wrap up. Any final thoughts, Dave?
Well, I'm okay. Well,
I know I'm going to start saving a lot of money now.
So I'm really excited to pick up the Rebirth comics. I haven't yet.
Okay.
Is it worth it? Is it
Flash Rebirth
Sure.
for definite. I would pick it up.
Flash I love.
Yeah, if you're a big Flash fan, then definitely.
And he's always the one that instigates these events.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with a good
Yeah.
Jeff Johns, Ethan Van Sciver. The new 52-second wave started a couple of months ago, so you should still be able to pick up that. That's like a new reboot. It's always like a reboot of all your favorite heroes.
Nice.
So if you're going to get into comics, then it's a nice way to start because you can always pick up from issue 1 and work your way back. The back issue should be relatively easy to get depending.
Yeah.
Batman, not so much. It's a harder title to get hold of the older issues.
I mean, it's Batman.
Oh, as a Neil Gaiman fan, Hellblazer Sandman, Swamp Thing. American Gods is really good. It just wrapped up the season.
So is it really that good?
There's a full frontal penis or vagina in every episode, which is great.
Which I hear is kind of a succubus or something like that.
Bullquist.
Oh,
in the first
succubus.
episode.
Succubus
So
would be
there's-
putting it lightly.
Oh, is it?
She eats a man with her vagina.
We see him get devoured by a slowly as well, and he's enjoying
Not the
it,
only time.
which is what I don't get.
Everyone was very happy
Oh,
to be consumed by a vagina.
And,
Then
I've only seen one episode,
And then
I saw this happen.
there's penis later. The show's actually really good.
Really?
I highly recommend
I
it.
did pick up on the mythology aspect of it. I guess I do need to go a little deeper into
When a
it.
man says...
I mean, that wasn't a pun.
So,
Um,
okay, this is kind of a spoiler if you don't know what days are named for. There's a character in the first episode that says, well, the main character, Shadow, asks this guy, well, who are you? And he says, well, what day is it? It's Wednesday. Well, today's my day. And if you don't know that Wednesday is named for Odin, the fucking Allfather, then you kind of left out of the loop for most of the season. But yeah, so this dude named Shadow and Odin go on a road trip, and it's really great. They're going to fight all the new gods.
Wow.
Yeah, like a technogod or something like that.
Well, hey, thank you. Exactly. You have anticipated what Neil Gaiman wrote in a novel that has been adapted to a series.
Ah.
It's very good.
What
It
more
takes
would
you on
you
a
expect
journey.
from a serious collector?
It's very good. It's very good.
Wow.
I just watched the show.
I'm definitely going to have to... I have it, I just was a little apprehensive on it.
Yeah.
The series is
On
wrapped
the
up
content,
now.
right?
It's only 8 episodes in the first season.
So it's not a long
Yeah.
season, so... Yeah.
Well, each episode is a long episode. It's an hour at least,
Is it?
each of them.
Okay, so it's not too bad. At least if it gets a lot of content in one episode, then
Yeah.
then it's worthwhile watching.
You actually go out of an episode feeling like they left stuff out.
Oh, geez.
You want
Yeah.
more.
Jeez,
it's,
okay.
it's very good.
No, definitely have to
recommend
watch it now, yeah.
Well, check it out.
Huh?
It's
The
done.
weekend is near?
We've wrapped.
Yeah, I'm going to finish it and see. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
Brad, this was fun, man.
No,
Thanks
it's a
for
pleasure.
finally coming through.
Not a problem, man. There's a lot of books that we didn't get to see, but I'm
Yeah.
sure we'll take some
Hey,
pictures and...
we can follow up. We can
Yeah.
follow up in future segments, right?
Yeah, we should do this again.
Yeah, we should definitely
This
do
is
this again.
enjoyable.
Right.
I have a lot of my collection's quite extensive.
Dude, thank you so much.
That's a pleasure, man.
All right. Thanks, Ed.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Zweletu.
And I've been Dave.
Brad, yeah?
And thanks again for joining us for Nth-Level Entertainment. So once again, please like and subscribe and share your thoughts on today's episode in the comments. Let us know what more type of content you'd like to see on the show. That will help inform the direction we go in future.
Definitely.
And remember to hit that bell icon so you get notifications when we upload new videos.
Okay. And as usual, stay awesome, people. To infinity
And
beyond.